Fishing for tarpon, live bait fishing for tarpon. If you're looking to catch the elusive and powerful tarpon, a live bait fishing for tarpon is a technique that can increase your chances of success. Tarpon are known for their acrobatic jumps and strong fighting abilities, making them a highly sought-after game fish. However, catching these silver kings requires skill and knowledge of their habits. In this video, we'll go over some essential techniques for live bait fishing for tarpon. Firstly, it's crucial to research the local baitfish in the area where you plan on fishing. Tarpon feed on a variety of small fish such as mullet, pilchards, and crabs. Knowing which baits are most abundant in your area will help you choose the best option for your rig. Once you've selected your bait, rigging it properly is key to attract tarpon effectively. From there, casting techniques like drift fishing or slow trolling can be used to entice tarpon into biting. Finally, we'll cover how to set the hook and fight tarpon while also ensuring safe release practices for these impressive game fish. With these techniques in mind, you'll be well prepared to tackle one of sport fishing's greatest challenges, catching a trophy-sized tarpon. Some common types of baitfish used for tarpon include mullet, pilchards, and threadfin herring. When researching baitfish, it's also important to consider their seasonal availability. Many species of baitfish are only present during certain times of the year or in specific areas. For example, if you're fishing in Florida during the winter months, mullet may not be as plentiful as they are during other seasons. Before heading out on your next tarpon fishing trip, it's crucial to check local fishing regulations and permits. Some areas have strict rules regarding the use of live bait or restrictions on certain types of fish that can be used as bait. By doing your homework ahead of time, you can avoid any potential legal issues and ensure a successful day on the water. Once you've identified the best local baitfish for tarpon and checked all necessary regulations and permits, it's time to rig your bait. With this step complete, you'll be well on your way to hooking one of these impressive game fish. To prepare your hook, it's important to carefully rig your bait so that it stays securely attached. The way you rig your bait depends on the type of baitfish you're using and the size of the tarpon you're targeting. For smaller baitfish like pilchards or threadfin herring, a single hook is usually sufficient. However, for larger baitfish like mullet or ladyfish, it may be necessary to use double hooks to secure the bait. When rigging your live bait, you want to make sure that it looks natural in the water. This means presenting it in a way that mimics how the fish would behave if it were swimming freely. One common method is called a free line presentation, where the weightless bait is allowed to swim naturally with the tide and current. Another technique involves adding a small amount of weight with split shot or a jig head to control the depth and movement of your bait. Hook selection is also crucial when rigging a live bait for tarpon fishing. You want a strong and sharp hook that can penetrate through tough tarpon jaws without bending or breaking. Circle hooks are popular among anglers because they tend to hook fish in their mouth rather than gut hooking them, which reduces injury and increases survival rates upon release. Make sure you don't scare away the tarpon by being too noisy or making sudden movements. Minimizing disturbance is important in using a live bait fishing for tarpon, as their behavior can be affected by even the slightest noise or movement. To avoid spooking the tarpon, consider the following. Keep your voice down and avoid unnecessary chatter. Move slowly and deliberately on the boat to avoid sudden jerky movements. Avoid slamming hatches or doors. Tarpon behavior can be unpredictable, so it's important to do everything possible to minimize disturbances that could cause them to flee. By taking these precautions, you'll increase your chances of a successful catch. To increase your chances of hooking a tarpon while drift fishing, you'll want to keep a close eye on the water for signs of activity. As opposed to anchored bait fishing, drift fishing requires a different setup and equipment. First, you need to ensure that your boat is set up properly for drift fishing. You should have the right amount of weight on your anchor line so that it stays in place but still allows your boat to move with the current. In addition, when drift fishing for tarpon, you'll need specific equipment such as a 7 to 8 feet rod with a sturdy reel capable of holding at least 200 yards of 50 pounds braided line. A live bait well stocked with large mullet or crabs is also necessary. It's important to note that when using a live bait, you should avoid releasing too much chum into the water, which can attract other predators instead of tarpons. Once everything is set up correctly, finding the right location is key. This is the end of part 1. Look out for part 2 coming right up in our Fishing for Tarpon series. We would like to thank you for watching, and please subscribe to our channel and have a look at our in-depth blog on fishing for tarpon. It has every topic about these magnificent creatures. Goodbye for now. See you in the next video in our Fishing for Tarpon series.